Step 1. Connect your SM7B to your microphone stand. Step number 2. Insert the FET head into the XLR port of your microphone. Step number 3. Connect the female portion of your XLR cable to the FET head. Step number 4. Connect the male side of your XLR cable to your audio interface. Step number 5. Turn on 48 volts phantom power. And step number 6. Speak into your microphone and set your gain so you are getting a healthy level. And the final step is to get the microphone close to your mouth prior to hitting record. I don't know about you, but I can say with absolute certainty that I sleep better with the knowledge that the American microphone police are out there scouring the internet and scouring the streets and radio stations and home studios for microphone infractions and setting people straight. It makes me sleep so much better. But I refuse to rely solely on the American microphone police, so I went ahead and recorded a few tests with the SM7B at different distances, as well as with and without the cloud lifter, or in my case, the FET head, to demonstrate what kind of benefit you can get from setting the SM7B up properly. So let's go ahead and jump back to that right now. Here is the first demonstration that I wanted to run. Currently, I'm about a foot, maybe a foot and a half away from the SM7B. I am connected directly to the 18i20, and my gain is set at 100%, and we're hitting around negative 24 to negative 18 dB. So simply put, this is way too quiet of a setup. Now I am at the exact same distance, but I have put the FET head in line, turned on the 48 volts phantom power, and I have increased my gain to about 2 o'clock on the 18i20, and here is how it sounds about a foot and a half away from my mouth. Next up, I have removed the FET head from the signal chain, and I have turned off 48 volts phantom power, and increased my gain to 100% on the 18i20, and here is the hiss that you should be hearing. And the main difference here is instead of being 1 to 1.5 feet away from the microphone, I am just a few inches from the end of it. You can tell you are getting a much healthier signal to noise ratio. You are also getting that more robust and warm low end, but here's how it sounds without a FET head in line. And lastly, I have now put the FET head in line again, turned on 48 volts phantom power, and I was able to decrease the gain on the 18i20 to about 12 o'clock, and here is the hiss you will get in this type of scenario. And with those quick demonstrations out of the way, you can tell that the addition or removal of the FET head or the cloud lift uplifter had a very minuscule effect on the overall sound quality, especially when we compare it to having the SM7B close to your mouth or a foot and a half away. So in summary, the moral of the story is instead of trashing a piece of gear for being an absolute waste of money based on setting it up incorrectly, learn the gear that you have, find out how to best set it up and get the best sound out of it, and then if you still dislike the sound, more power to you. Make all the bad videos you want about it. That's your opinion, and that's your prerogative. But trashing a piece of gear because you aren't getting the sound that you want out of it because you unfortunately set it up incorrectly seems a bit disingenuous, or at the very least, a bit misleading. So with all of that being said, what can we... Today on the Bandrew Says podcast, we will not be discussing any kind of news because there wasn't any, but instead, I will be addressing quite a few amazing questions, such as the different approach to recording audio versus streaming audio, upgrading from dynamic microphones to condenser microphones, and a whole lot more, so go ahead and stick around. Alright, greetings Earthlings, and welcome back to the I Need a Haircut capital of the world. I don't think my hair has been this long in over a decade, and I can almost have the devil lock from, what's that band? That goth band. Whatever. Welcome back to episode 214 of the BSP. My name is Bandrew. This is what it says. Like always, timestamps in the episode notes if you want to skip around and save a few minutes, but if you got the time, I would appreciate you checking out the entire episode. we are jumping directly into the what you had to say section, and I'll tell you what, this first one is somewhat contentious. So I apologize ahead of time. It comes from Jerry, and he says, I don't know. Freedom of speech says otherwise. It's up to the viewer to believe you or not. This whole responsibility debate is a bit too controlling. He can say what he wants, to an extent, and you can say what you want. You don't have to explain, and he doesn't have to apologize. That's the old America. Jerry, thank you very much for this comment. I always appreciate people sharing their differing points of views. I will start my response with a question. Do you really want to model our current society off of old America in terms of freedom of speech? Because I think you'll find that in old America with freedom of speech, if somebody was offended, if their honor felt attacked, they wouldn't just say, whatever, they can think what they want. They would have a duel at dawn. They would shoot each other. So I don't know if old America is really the model we should be looking to for freedom of speech and the enforcement of freedom of speech. I will say that having responsibility for the words that come out of your mouth doesn't seem like a free speech issue. It's not saying you can't say this. It's saying you have a responsibility. You should try to meet that responsibility. You're not required to. But I don't know about you. The way that I was brought up, what I was always taught is I should take responsibility for what I say and what I do. At no point over the last few weeks have I suggested that people should be jailed for outputting incorrect information. I didn't even suggest that people should be banned for putting out incorrect information. I even went so far as to say and reiterate that if some dope in your audience misunderstands what you say and uses that as justification to do something harmful, that is not your fault. All I pointed out was that people will inevitably blame you for it. They will blame you for it even though it is not your fault. I pointed that out because I wanted to make sure people understood that by including disclaimers, it is a CYA situation, a cover your own butt, to keep it a little bit PG-13. As far as apologizing, again, I never said that Jay should apologize. He made a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes, and it was a relatively low-tier mistake that doesn't matter for most people. I am just an audio nerd. People who follow my channel are audio nerds, so of course we're a little bit butthurt when somebody doesn't get the information right. For the majority of people, it doesn't matter. But if none of this is addressing your comment and you believe that this is how things should work, where you have no responsibility for what you say, I challenge you to go to your boss and say, F you, boss, you suck at your job, I hate you, you're the worst, I wish a plague upon your house, I dare you to do it. You won't do it, because you understand that you have a responsibility for what you say, and what you say does have consequences. You can't just say anything you want at any time. Well, I guess technically you can, but there will be repercussions for that. Telling your boss to F themselves will most likely lead to you getting fired. Oh, but in no, not in old America, no, just stop it. What about teachers? Do you think that teachers being required to have a curriculum is infringing on their freedom of speech? Do you think it is an infringement of freedom of speech for teachers to be required to teach students that 2 + 2 = 4? Do you think that is infringing on their freedom of speech? That is a serious question. Because I don't think it is an infringement on their freedom of speech. They are in a position where they have a responsibility to provide accurate information. If they don't want that responsibility, they don't take the job. Again, the thing that I was always taught and the way that I was brought up is that you should always take responsibility for what you say and what you do. That means that I stand behind what I say, and if I get something incorrect, I will come out, make a correction, and eat my words. I am not above admitting that I am wrong. You may view that as me self-censoring or kowtowing to some outrage mobs who might be looking to get me. No, the way that I view it is ensuring that I don't mislead people, and in so doing that, I am ensuring that I don't soil and ruin my reputation. I know I got a little bit heated, a little bit hot-headed there, but I do love free speech, so somebody saying that I am advocating for behavior that kind of infringes on that kind of bothers me. You can say whatever you want. I couldn't care less. You have the right to do it. If you're in America, I don't know about the rest of the world, but if you're in America, you absolutely have the right to say most things. I am not saying that you don't. But Cherry, thank you very much for leaving that comment. I had a lot of fun responding to what you said, and I appreciate you. So keep doing what you're doing and keep saying what you want to say. Thank you very much. Next comment comes from Rodney, and he says, very well done. Agreed that content is the key element. However, I have stopped listening to videos due to garbage audio, and that was even before I knew anything about audio. I still don't know anything about audio, but if someone sounds like they're talking in an echo chamber or they're clipping real bad, I'm out. Rodney, thank you for leaving that comment, and I am right there with you in most cases, but I am also somewhat forgiving, which I don't think a lot of people would assume of me. They would think he's the guy who yells about audio all day. He's going to be really harsh. I'm very forgiving as long as the content is good. The two guys I mentioned last week, it's Drew Gooden and Danny Gonzalez. They use Yetis. They don't record in well-treated rooms. They record a foot, maybe 2 feet away from the microphone, so you can definitely hear the room, and it's not the best sounding audio, but the content is so good that I am willing to overlook that. The content is the most important thing. But at the same time, there have been many cases where I can't even watch or listen to something because the audio is so bad. Just look at all of these late night talk show hosts who sound like they're recording in echo chambers. It is unlistenable to me, and the content isn't very good to begin with. So I refuse to watch that stuff, but I agree with you. Content is the most important key element. Thank you very much, Rodney. I appreciate you. Next, we got a comment from Stefan, and he says, could you do something about the difference between recording and releasing like a podcast and live streaming where you have to or should do the processing live in real time, e.g. gate, EQ, de-esser, compressor, etc., like in hardware, e.g. DBX286S or Go XLR, etc., or software, Sonable comes to mind? Regards. Stefan, thank you very much for that comment, and this actually spurred a moment of spontaneity for me while I was preparing for this podcast, and I wanted to record a very quick demonstration and tutorial on how I would approach setting up my audio in OBS to get the best sound possible. It's not going to be the most processed radio broadcast ready sound, but it addresses one of the biggest issues that I see on streaming, and that is people clipping their damn microphones when they get excited. So in this tutorial, I walk through how to address that and how to fix it and all the settings that you need to do to make sure that you don't clip your microphone when you get really excited and start yelling. So here is that tutorial. I hope it helps. So here is a quick example of setting your gain so you're getting a healthier level. But if I were to get excited and start yelling, oh my God, we start clipping. That does not sound good. So how can we resolve this? My first suggestion is to turn the gain down on your preamp so you're hitting around negative 18 dB. So now I have done that, and then if I were to scream, oh my God, I don't clip. So we're off to a good start. Now we are going to add some filters that are built into OBS. So we will
watch the replay.
Settings icon for our microphone input. Then we will select the filters option. Then we will click the plus button. We will add a compressor. We will decrease the ratio from 10 to 1. We will go 4 to 1, which is a pretty healthy ratio to use for a compressor. Because we're hitting such a low level, we'll maybe drop it down to negative 21 dB. We're not going to add any kind of makeup gain here, and we don't need any kind of side chain or ducking source, so we're good with the compressor now. Next, we are going to add a limiter to ensure that our levels don't ever exceed a certain point. So let's go ahead and add that. We will decrease the threshold to maybe negative 15. Let's go negative 16 dB. That means no sound will ever be above 16 decibels. So if I were to scream, The loudest that will be is 16 dB. It just crushes the hell out of that signal with a ratio of infinity to 1. A limiter is essentially a compressor with that ratio of infinity to 1. Next, because we are still a little bit quiet, we are going to add gain to that. So we will go ahead and add the gain effect. And here we will add maybe 10 dB of gain and see where we are. Once I move the filters window out of the way and look at my meter, I'm hitting around negative 15 to negative 10 dB. And if I scream, oh my God, I'm still only hitting around negative 7 dB. So we might be able to give it a few more dB. Now I have plus 12 dB on the gain filter. And now if I get excited, I don't clip. And I'm still only hitting around negative 4 dB, and this is a much healthier output level for OBS. You avoid the clipping at the sound source, at the A to D converter in your interface, and it just sounds so much better. So this is how I would set up a live streaming recording if I didn't have analog limiters and analog compressors and all of that. So I hope that helps distinguish the difference between recording your audio and processing it in post versus how you would set up your audio for live streaming. But if I were to get excited and start yelling, oh my God, now I have plus 12 dB on the gain filter. And now if I get excited, I don't clip. Next up, we got a comment from Emerald, and they say, I will stick to my comment last week. That being said, yes, Jay does have impact on his audience, but again, it is more towards PC tech. I honestly thought his video was funny because I knew he didn't set it up correctly because I watched upwards of 100 videos on mic audio when I upgraded. The point is, the impact creators have is more geared towards the subject of their main content. As I would not buy a PC based on your recommendation, but I did buy a mic based on it. Emerald, how dare you not come to me for your PC purchasing requirements and education? Let me go ahead and impart some knowledge on you. There is only one computer that everybody needs to buy. It is the greatest computer ever made, and it is the only computer that will ever exist into the future. That would be the trash can Mac Pro. If you do not own this, if you do not buy it, if you do not plan to own it in the future, shame on you. Shame on you. I am disgusted. You scum of the earth. Disgusting. You disgust me. How dare you? Seriously, though? I don't know where that came from. I apologize. I do think that you're partially correct. Some folks will absolutely have the knowledge that Jay was setting up his microphone incorrectly because they did watch 100 videos. But I think plenty of people in his audience had no idea that his video was conducted incorrectly, that his setup was done incorrectly. And those people will leave Jay's video thinking, well, the SM7B is terrible because it didn't work in Jay's situation. So instead, I'll buy a Blue Yeti, set it up 2.5 feet away from my mouth, and EQ it to sound exactly like the SM7B. All things which are incorrect. The SM7B is not a terrible microphone. The Blue Yeti does not perform well 2.5 feet away from your mouth. And the Blue Yeti cannot be EQ'd to sound indistinguishable from the SM7B, to use Jay's terms. Now, although you were well-versed enough, although you had done your research enough to understand this, I understand why you would have this point of view and why you would say, well, people don't go to Jay for audio advice. But what about all the people that go to Jay for their PC advice and they don't really care about audio? They left that video probably thinking, well, Jay's right. Jay never misled me with computers, so why would he mislead me with audio? You are probably in the minority there of people in Jay's audience who have watched hundreds of videos on audio gear prior to upgrading. Jay didn't even watch one, it seems. He did eventually correct it. To be fair to him, he did correct it, so good on him. And I think that you're partially right. Some people will say, yeah, Jay's a PC guy. I'm not going to listen to him for audio. But then people who typically don't care about audio will leave Jay's video thinking that Jay was correct. That's my stance. I think it's perfectly fair for you to stand by your comment, but thank you very much, Emerald. I appreciate you. Next, we got a comment from Hades Stamps, and he says, I will say there should be a balance between different channels and variety within a channel. Hades Stamps, thank you very much for that comment, and I partially agree with you. As I mentioned in my discussion of this topic last week, I think that variety on your channel within the focus of your channel can be good. If you're doing snack food reviews, it wouldn't be a stretch to think that your audience would be interested in a video on how to cook pizza at home for cheap. To make this more solidified or in the real world, on my channel, I do mainly audio gear reviews, but I have also done reviews of cameras, and I even did a single computer review of the 2016 or 2017 MacBook, the 12-inch, and all of those videos that weren't specifically audio gear related, I framed them in a way of, is this good for podcasting and YouTube, which a lot of people who watch my videos for audio are doing. They are making videos and podcasts, so they may be interested in cameras and computers that are able to assist them in that goal. So if you're adding variety and your channel is niche, I think it's important to think about the audience you have and why they are watching, and ensure that you are framing the show and the variety content in a way that overlaps with the reason that people are watching your channel. Again, to reiterate this and drive this into people's heads, if you're making snack food reviews, don't upload videos of strippers dancing in a pool underwater and think, oh, they'll like this. They'll like this, sure. Why? Why would they like that? But if you're doing snack food reviews, talking about pizza, that makes sense. That makes sense. So just think, does this variety content on my channel make sense? Can I frame it in a way that would relate to why people are watching my channel? I think I just made it more confusing, but X80 Stamps, I appreciate you sending that in. Thank you very much. Now let's jump to my favorite part of the show, the Ask Bandrew segment. All right, if you have any questions that you want answered, you can head over to askbandrew.com. There are instructions on how to send in video, audio, or text-based questions. I prefer audio and video because then I don't have to read, and everybody who listens and watches this show gets a break from my annoying voice. So go ahead and send in the audio and video. It's so much better for everybody. We have a pre-voice submission. This is not a question. This is nothing. I am not going to answer this question because I addressed it last week, I think. But when I was going through my email, I found that they had sent in this version of the question, and I just want to include it for you to enjoy.
If all microphones had perfectly flat frequency response graphs, would they all sound the same?
Wow. That was amazing. I support this 100%. If anybody out there wants to send in their question in musical format, I am on board. Let me be a kid for a second. I stan this idea. Is that a kid thing? Is that what kids do nowadays? Get off my lawn! Okay, let's jump to the next voice submission. Thank you very much for that musical submission. That was amazing. Seriously, send them in. First voice submission question.
Hello, Bandrew. I have a question about microphones. I have a friend I play with a lot who also streams a little bit, and he has placed his Rode NT1 microphone above his monitor, and I don't think it works really well, but he doesn't want his microphone in his face. I think he is wrong, but what can you do? So I'm wondering, are there other microphones that work better for this situation? Maybe a shotgun microphones or even lavaliers? It will be interesting to hear what you have to say about it. And thank you for a great show. I really like it.
Thank you very much for that question, and I could sit here and wax poetic about this topic, but instead of telling you, I figured I would show you and do a demonstration for you. So I pulled out the Octava MK012 and the Rode NT1, and I recorded a quick sample at different positions with the microphones, and here is that sample to help you in addressing that issue. Okay, so here is a quick example of how the Rode NT1 sounds at maybe 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet away from my mouth, but I also have the Octava MK012 set up at the exact same distance, and here is how it compares to the Rode NT1 at a distance. I imagine that the Octava is going to be doing a better job because I do have the hypercardioid capsule on that microphone, meaning it's more focused in the front. It does have a lobe of sensitivity in the rear, so if you have a lot of reflections coming off of your wall or your monitor, it may pick up a little bit more of that. But as far as reach, I imagine the Octava might sound a bit better at this distance. And now I have the NT1 about 2.5 feet away from my mouth, and I'm guessing this is more similar to what your friend's microphone sounds like. I do have quite a bit of treatment up, so if he can treat his room really, really well, I imagine he might be able to get away with it, but it will pick up a lot more of the ambient noise if he has a keyboard or a really loud mouse, because he will have to crank up his gain to level match them. But again, I also have the Octava set up, which is just above my head, maybe a foot away from my mouth, and it's not impeding my vision, it is not affecting what I can see, and it's not in front of my face. And because I'm able to get the Octava much closer to my mouth by essentially using it as a boom microphone, I'm able to improve that signal to background noise ratio, which will ultimately yield a much cleaner sounding recording. So perhaps your friend could opt for a small diaphragm condenser with a hypercardioid polar pattern or a shotgun microphone to get the microphone above his head pointed at his mouth, and that won't affect his vision, it won't get right in front of his mouth. And if you want to hear a few more, I also compared the NTG3 shotgun and the Rode M5s in last week's episode against the Octava MK012. So I hope that helped shed some light on some other options. Best of luck to your friend, and if he's able to, just get the NT1 closer to his mouth. It's a great sounding microphone. It's one of my all-time favorites, so I think if he can just get it closer to his mouth, he'd be much better off. And there you have it. I hope that helps you and also helps your friend. Maybe helps you convince your friend to set up their microphone in a better position, or maybe pick up a different microphone that might suit their needs a little bit better. Because if they do want a microphone multiple feet away from them, or if they just don't want it in front of their face, there are many different options there, so hope that helped. Thanks a lot for the question. Let's go to another voice submission, this time from Steve. Take it away, Steve.
Hello, Bandrew. This is Steve. I'm a part of a podcast show about playing role-playing games with my friends. When we decided to try out podcasting, I kind of fell into the role of figuring out all the audio setup, as well as learning the equipment necessary to have 7 microphones plugged into my computer. And your channel, Podcastage, has been one of the few invaluable sources for me to learn about audio engineering, recording, and terminology used in the industry. Our current setup is using USB mixer board with the 7 microphones, the Samsung Q2U. And I know there's nothing wrong with that mic. What is a good general rule for upgrading from a dynamic to a condenser microphone? Keeping in mind, my current mixer has the ability to supply 48 volts of phantom power. Would you wait until you could upgrade to a more mid to high range condenser microphone? Or is the quality difference from an entry level?
Josue.
What?
Josue, get the fuck in the voice.
You hear me, right?
Yeah. I do. Hey, you want a link?
What do you get? I don't.
SpongeBob.
Hi, SpongeBob. The SpongeBob. Who's SpongeBob? I said SpongeBob. Again. Sorry, people.
The most important meal of the day, Gary's way.
I got the giggles.
Oh, what's the use?
Hello? Really? Oh shit. I didn't even know you could do that. Machete. Shit. I fucking hate this man. Oh boy. I hate. How the fuck did they already finish one? That's retarded. Wait a minute, can you break this? No, I can't. Amazing. Where the fuck did that guy go? What the fuck? What the? Where the fuck did he go? But what are they doing? Wait, you actually... Where the fuck is everyone else? Like, hello? I don't think these guys know how to play the game. Wait, I can get caught on my own traps. Oh, Preston does. That's not what I meant to do. He's so fucked. That was something really, really big. Fucking ranks, lady. No Blue Yeti. No. What is that fucking emoji? That fucking limited time only garbage.
Blue's Yeti microphone is the biggest meme to ever weave itself into the audio world, and I truly cannot put into words how much I despise it. But I'm certainly gonna try with this video. If you've been on the internet for any amount of time at all, chances are that you're at least somewhat familiar with these things. They're used by countless streamers, YouTubers, aspiring voiceover artists, casual consumers, and oh yeah, they're also one of, if not the worst microphones man has ever created. I know this is gonna be like mom telling you that Santa isn't real or dad's not coming back, but somebody needs to bring you into the realm of reality. So here's the truth. The Blue Yeti is a $100 stainless steel toy. Everything good you heard about it, forget it. They're lies born from hobbyists with no concept of quality. Well, actually, Ouija, I can already hear droves of you typing. I have a Yeti, and I'll have you know that it is a high-quality, great-sounding microphone that rivals studio-grade equipment. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I just need to stop you right there, because you're pretty horribly wrong, actually. But hey, don't just take my word for it. Allow me to demonstrate. My name's Ouija the God, and I spend 14 hours a day watching Family Guy funny moments. My name's Ouija the God, and I spend 14 hours a day watching Family Guy funny moments. Now you notice how this sounds all nice and clean and clear? And how this sounds like absolute total garbage? Well, that right there is the difference between a toy and a real audio setup. Now here's the thing that's really gonna blow your mind. This goes a whole lot deeper than just the Yeti specifically, as all USB microphones, yes, all of them, I'm gonna say it one more time because if you take anything away from this video, I want it to be this, all USB microphones are very, very bad. Well, that's only half true, actually. You see, it isn't necessarily that companies don't create quote-unquote good USB microphones, it's that the overall nature of USB technology alone simply cannot produce a high level of quality. For those of you who don't know how recording things with a microphone works, the mic picks up sound waves and converts them into digital audio information recognizable by your computer via your sound card of choice, and therein lies the overarching issue, the sound card. In the case of USB microphones, it's the embedded sound card of the motherboard that handles the converting. But here's the kicker. These embedded sound cards aren't all that good at their jobs when it comes to actual quality. Of course, some embedded sound cards are technically more powerful and better than others, but the difference in quality between them is honestly so marginal that you're not even going to be able to detect any improvement. The same exact thing can be said for the hardware connected to them as well. Manufacturers of USB microphones have to intentionally limit just how good their mics are allowed to be in order to be compatible with a wide variety of these embedded sound cards. This leads to almost every single USB microphone out there having extremely similar lackluster hardware specs, resulting in an almost identical sound across the board. Believe it or not, that nice and shiny $100-y-do Yeti that every prosumer claims to be so amazing is actually more or less just a $50 snowball wrapped in a slightly flashier package at double the price. Even if you're a casual consumer who's only creating content or doing voiceovers as a fun hobby, the Yeti would still be a complete waste. There are so many other USB mics out there, such as the Blue Snowball or Radio Shack USB, that sound exactly the same but are a fraction of the Yeti's price, so there's absolutely zero reason to waste your money on this thing. So if the Blue Yeti is too technologically weak to be a viable studio mic and far too expensive to be a viable casual mic, then what is the target market for this?
No, I don't. When the mic's so fucking... Where the fuck did everyone just go? Hello? Oh, hello again. When the mic's so bad, it has multiple videos explaining why it's trash. 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 Don't want to face 360 tomahawk, excuse me. Whoa, baby is scared. They're gonna go comb in their pants. These fucking idiots ready up. Red. What the fuck is this? My Little Pony. Hilarious. Maybe I will. Oh, fuck, I forgot my offer. Every fucking time. Tell the attack button to lunge. I can't tell if that's a car or gunshots. I think my internet is taking a shit. I'm ready for the shrimp to die any second now. What headphones, what monitor, what gaming chair do you recommend? What gaming chair? None of them. Dumbass. I don't. You're trying to play Ring Around the Rosie with me. You know that Shrek. Dumbass, about to juke this guy. Where the... This retard just kept running. Oh no. Oh, there he is. What is he doing? What are you doing? He's running. He's running. Get the fuck back here. I can do this all day. Dumbass. Fuck is he on there? Some trash. Oh, I also. Stupid bitch. Where the fuck's the basement? Where's he? Dumb fucking bitch. You filthy fucking boy. Where's the fucking closet? Oh, there's one. Where the fuck that other bitch again? So does resident sleeper to me. You know what? You're banned. Ban him. 24-hour ban. What the fuck was that in this? Fucking pallet. You stupid fucking. It's over. I have the high ground. Piece of trash. Really? Oh my god. Shit! Dude. I'm fucking hallucinating now. I cannot see, I'm legally blind. Shit. Fucking lost. My brain. My brain. Is there Smurf? Is there Smurfing? Lord, fuck you. You little cocksucking piece of shit. I'm playing the nurse. pudding. Yo, after this game, I'm gonna just go play hentai. I've had it. Had enough. Oh boy, the cornfields. I love this map. Oh shit. Fuck a retard. You fucking play this stupid ass game. Rock? Dude, fuck. Fucking corn. I can't see shit. I don't know how that even hit in the first place. But I'll take it. It's boring. Stupid fucking bitch. Hello? Hello? What the fuck did he run off the cliff? Fucking corn. How does that miss? Like, I don't understand. Am I retarded? Bro, some of these attacks miss. Like, I don't. Bitch retarded, hello? Fucking retard. Retard alert. Oh, there's the legs. She's dead. That was so sad. I fucked up. But this bitch ran away, hello? I'm camping this fucking guy. Fuck him. Fuck. How does I miss point blank, dude? What am I fucking aiming at this guy? Hello? Fucking, what is this aiming? What is this game aiming? Like, I don't understand. Fucking retarded ass piece of fucking garbage. If I'm point blank, how the fuck am I missing? I don't understand. Fuck. I'm mad. Fuck this guy. I'm done. That's it. That's it, I'm triggered. Fucking triggered like a little.
Welcome to us.
I'm playing a better game.
Click the circles.
I didn't click on it. Or whatever. This map's so. No, you know, fuck Josue. You're mad because you're bad. You're mad because you're bad. Mad because you're a little bitch. Little bitch boy. Actually, there is an Osu too. It's called Osu Laser. Laser. Stupid bitch. How about you look it up? fuck this guy just say? Why are you clicking circles and not square? Okay, fucking stupid. This guy fucking squares? Squares! Fuck this game. This game sucks.
Daddy.
What the fuck is this?
You are my friend.
Piece of trash.
You are my
超えるべき闇の中で超えるべきだけど今見つめてる嘘ばかりの世界描いてる愛という暗闇心をなくしても君だけは守り抜く明日広い憎しみが僕らを支配しようと手を伸ばしてくんだ超える
What am I reading? Someone ban that guy. Fuck you, you're not getting models, you fucking little cunt. Look, I passed a map. Beep beep boop boop. Who now? My hand's too sweaty, I can't hold my mouse. Kidding me? Oh fucking Why the fuck are these so huge? What the hell? Fuck. Bitch. Listen, my game audio is perfectly fine. Except when it's not. Amazing. How about you get a better mic first and then tell me what to do, bitch? Fucking dare you. What do you mean there's still no game audio? It's impossible. It's fix it. Fucking relax, Jesus. Honestly. I'm pretty sure it is like.
You have reached
This game one's fucking hard, though. This guy wants Naruto. This guy must raise 0. No? I fucked that up. When did they ever use this song? What do you want? This one? This one sucks. Who the fuck is leaving and joining like a dipshit? Like a fucking idiot. Alright. Alright. Retard word. Alright, it's too hard. I don't want to do this anymore. Next song. forget how to press buttons. You know what? What the fuck is this? This is edgy, I like it. How about you get over here and fucking 1v1, you little piece of shit. Fucking pee pee poo poo. Dickhead.
夢を縛り付ける重たい定めの石にまるで押しつぶされてどこにも逃げられないひたすらあがきながらだけど諦めない瓦礫の底に埋もれた希望のかけらたちきっとこの手で見つけ出すさ世界を変えるためにファイティング自分の道を信じたものだけがいつか輝ける命の限り神の逆らい戦い続ける不屈の魂たちよファイティング
No.
ファイティング
I never finished.
始まってしまった物語に奪われたように覚ます目指す場所とはまだ見ぬ定め近づいてくる決戦の時打つべきピリオドは Stop the time 始まってしまった物語に奪われたままの時に今終わりを告げるため歩き続けるクルセイダー空白のラストページにその拳を叩き込め
虚しさから逃れられず色を遠ざけ健やか色めき歴史綴る日々は揺れにゆりかごのよう静かこから光照らし線の夜もかき消せ震える声を許しながら今はどう今週のうちにもがきながら一人立たずに見下ろす連続などと捨て台詞は乾いた笑い誘教えてくれ始めよう 始めようさいらないじゃない今の僕らの中に崩れごとくゆるりゆるり見てた僕になれたかな取り替えれないとこまで来たみたい自分の足で二段飛ばしてそもっと先へかけていけるはずだからララウェイ深くな傷を縫い付けなったすぐ
Fuck.
夢見てた僕になれたかな取り替えれないとこまで来たみたい足で二段飛ばしてそもっと先へ望遠鏡の正面望遠鏡お願いちょっと待ってね私だ誇りに私だハートの高鳴りが秘密の思い出はかけろキラかけろキラ
What is this, fucking ants? Hello? Stop, Steve. of this song.
I stand behind these lies while I fall apart inside. There's no one to tell me why. Did I ever close my eyes to see colors seem to fade to this melancholy state? Who says what am I to change? Did I ever take the time to breathe? Trying to keep me in the dark and never let me see the light can be so much worse. And I feel it slip away. One last good memory. Our time has come and gone. I'm fading away. A little bit closer to the morning. I'm standing next to you. How the sun will unfold. A little bit bolder, turn colder to what I'm running from. But I know the end always ends with you. Always ends with you. Shit.
What is that fucking emoji?
Closer to the morning, I'm standing next to you. How the sun will unfold. A little bit bolder, turn colder to what I'm running from. But I know the end always ends with you. Always ends with you.
That was terrible. This guy actually thinks I have Fortnite installed on the Megalo.
はちょうど何がふふふ
What's waits for you? What's breaking through? Nothing for good. You なんてないと生きてしまったらあまりにも寂しくて切ないでしょ誰もが本当は信じたいけど裏切られれば深く傷ついてしまうもの怖がる世界が理想ではなくそれを信じ続けている姿それこそ僕らが望むべき世界と気づくことができたなら What will we have? Believe the time is ours forever and I'll always be here forever till the end I won't go away and won't say never doesn't have to be friend you can keep it till the end なんてないと生きろそしたら希望や夢はいくつ死ぬだろうそれが存在しないことの絶望と存在することの残酷を想像していて僕も少しまためくるページの手を止める How will we end? Believe the time is ours forever and I'll always be here forever till the end I won't go away and won't say never doesn't have to be friend you can keep it till the Believe the time is ours forever and I'll always be here forever till the end I won't go away and won't say never doesn't have to be friend you can keep it till the end keep it till the end you can keep it till the end
-3 piece of trash.
私はちょうど何が私はちょうど何がふふふ君のために何ができるの空想した世界は愛で
You know what? This map kind of actually sucks.
私はちょうど何がうふふ
What's it on me?
Next time.
What does what this fucking game?